just do a calculation about how fast these fines add up. I
Mhm.
always refer to it as the most expensive area of the law that nobody's ever heard of. It takes basically a couple days to be in the millions in terms
Mhm.
of
What
fines.
what is the fine these days, Keely?
Back in like 2017, 2018, they changed the way that the fines worked. And now they come out every year with a regulation that sets the fines based on inflation. Right now, it's up to close to $60,000 per
Wow.
violation per day. It's not just leak repair. Like if you just don't know your full charge size on your appliance, do you count it up for the entire 3-year regulatory period? That's $60 million for not knowing how much refrigerant is in one regulated appliance, right?
So per appliance or per offense per day. So if you have multiple leaking systems over months at a time, that could easily put somebody out of business
Yeah.
or impact.
Well,
Right.
and sometimes they don't do it differently, right? They're, hey, we're going to do this much in cash, and then you're going to agree to do all these equipment upgrades. So, it's $500,000,
Like a consent decree kind of a thing.
and then it's going to be cost you $15 million to upset. But if you don't, then we'll go back to the fine per day per violation.
Yes, that's exactly right. And the reason they do that is because those fines, that money just goes to the general treasury. It's like less than 1% goes to anything environmental. So they deliberately try to enter into a consent decree where they minimize the amount of the fine and shift a lot of that into activities that you have to do, and they relate to refrigeration and the environment.
And then if you don't comply with the timeline and don't do it, then you're back in violation yet again.
Yeah, they actually have a factor built in there. It's kind of like the poverty clause to make sure they don't put you out of business, right? They want to hurt you, but they of course don't want you to go bankrupt. The most recent enforcement case, it was a little company in New York City with 22, 24 stores, and the total amount of the fines had to be reduced greatly because it would have put them out of business. And very quickly the EPA says, we're already in the tens of millions. We don't have to go any further unless you make us. Right? Let's talk about what you can do in the future.